Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
We have showers and some strong storms currently pushing across the area with a severe thunderstorm watch to our north. We're going to walk through this on Futurecast and show you when things calm down coming up.
And 2 weeks after a devastating house fire, a family sharing how they're rebuilding. Plus, several small businesses in Wake Forest are closed this evening due to a power outage. We share the area that's been impacted. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Julian Grace. Today is a weather alert day with a severe thunderstorm watch north of the Triangle throughout the evening. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And Anthony, how are things timing out right now?
Julian, we're going to continue with shower and storm coverage probably through the rest of this evening. The severe thunderstorm watch, which we'll talk about here in just a second, technically goes until 11 o'clock, and so our severe potential would die down after that. But I can't totally rule out any and all rainfall after that point up until tomorrow morning. We talk about where we sit right now, though. The orange you see right there, that's a severe thunderstorm watch north of the Triangle. One severe thunderstorm warning currently. This is just south and west of Henderson. Likely a lot of lightning with that one. It's pushing to the south and east, so Durham will miss out on this, but if this holds together, it could get close to Rocky Mount. 64 there here as we head over the next 10 to 15 minutes. That's going to go until 6:30 if that holds together. Still packing a bit of a punch there. We head a little bit farther to the south, a lot quieter currently. Just some spotty light rainfall there around Raleigh and most of our locations. Not a lot of coverage, though, for us. Well, as we go through the evening, though, some of those storms you saw up to the north, they could drift a little bit farther to the south. I think this is not going to be a total soaking rainfall, but it's at least a little bit where we definitely need it across the area. Early tomorrow morning, still some spotty coverage. Our Monday morning commute may have a couple light areas of rain. The majority of us, though, going to see a pretty dry day tomorrow. It will be less humid and less hot to start our week. There's where the severe thunderstorm watches goes until 11 o'clock. Isolated instances of damaging winds up to about 70 miles an hour. I think that may be a little bit overdone. Also, Julian, we have our heat advisory that goes until 8 o'clock tonight. So a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about things when they start to settle down here a little bit coming up.
All right, thanks, Anthony. We have breaking news right now in Wake Forest. A power outage is causing a big inconvenience for people working and shopping at a plaza just off of Capitol Boulevard. Now, with temperatures in the 90s, employees say they're struggling. WRAL's Willie Danley is on the scene and joins us live. Willie.
Well, Julian, I'm standing here at this plaza right off Capitol Boulevard, and I can tell you literally about 3 seconds ago, the power just came back on. You can hear these employees in the background. They're so grateful that they have their air conditioning back. Take a look at this video that we captured here, and you can see that intersection of Capitol Boulevard where those police officers are helping mitigate traffic because those lights were down. Shops were closed here. Electric vehicle owners were unable to charge their cars. I ran around this plaza and I spoke to employees at several businesses. Most of them had to stay inside of their stores because they weren't able to leave. They told me being inside with no air conditioning was unbearable. People working at the Sonic restaurant here told me they were doing what it takes to stay cool.
When we tell the customers that there's no power, they still sit there, and then it's like extremely hot. We came outside. I was in the cooler at first, but I was like, dang, I don't want to let the cold air out to make the food spoil, so I'm just come outside.
The employees here told me they are extremely grateful that this power just came back on. As of now, the cause of that outage is still undetermined. We're going to continue to follow this story and keep you updated with what we find out. In Wake Forest, Willie Danley, WRAL News.
2 men were shot at a nightclub in Fayetteville, and police say one of them died. This happened at Rumors Lounge on Southeastern Boulevard a little after 1 this morning. Police say 28-year-old Joseph Bell died from his injuries. Investigators are asking anyone with information about this shooting to call the police department or contact Crime Stoppers if you would like to stay anonymous. Well, 2 people were killed and 1 person was injured in a shooting in Tarboro overnight. The Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office says they received a call a little after 3 this morning saying several people have been shot. Deputies say 2 people were dead when they arrived on the scene on Branchwood Lane, and a 3rd person was taken to the hospital. Now, in a post on Facebook, the Sheriff's Office urged people to come forward with information. They say people can remain anonymous if they choose to do so. The man at the the center of a deadly DWI crash that killed a Garner family of 3 is expected to make his first court appearance tomorrow. 25-year-old Jordan Porter was released from the hospital yesterday. He faces several charges, including 3 counts of felony death by motor vehicle. Officers say Porter was under the influence when he caused a crash on Memorial Day, killing Tyler Campbell, his wife Susan, and their 8-year-old son Miles. Police say he was driving 85 miles an hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. Crews responded to this house fire in Apex this morning to put out a fire. This is what else we found out. You can see the extensive damage to the home's garage. This is on Wood Mill Run. Firefighters from several departments were on the scene, as well as Wake EMS responders. They had bottles of water on hand for the firefighters battling this blazing heat. We're also told, and we're still working to learn more on exactly what caused the fire you see there. A dog died in Moore County in a house fire this morning. This is video from our breaking news tracker. It shows smoke coming from the home on Archie Road. This is near West Pine Middle School. Now, officials say the fire was contained to a bedroom, but there was heavy smoke damage throughout the home. While one dog died, another was able to escape from the house. No one was injured. Firefighters are working to learn the cause. An Apex family is putting the pieces together after a fire forced them out of their home. There's more. Among the challenges, caring for their son, a Marine Corps veteran with a traumatic brain injury. WRAL's Grace Holland visited the home as cleanup continues and as neighbors try to help as best they can.
Torn down to studs. You can still smell the smoke after that fire that started here in the garage. Now the Lineback family is trying to save as many memories as they can from the home that they built their lives in for more than 30 years.
That's a heartbreaker right here, seeing this. And it was
standing in what's left of her childhood bedroom.
This is my life, was this room. I'm sorry.
Carla Lineback can see it all.
I became who I am because of this room. And my parents and my brother, obviously.
The life her parents built, burnt to ashes.
What's it feel like for you to stand in here after all that?
It makes you want to cry.
Tony Lineback is an NC State alum and a Vietnam veteran who bought this house for his family in the 1980s. He was working on the lawnmower one afternoon.
The whole time we were here, we kept saying, I smell gas, we smell kerosene, something.
I took the seat off. I could get a good view and I could see gnaw marks where a squirrel had chewed a hole in the gas tank. And I guess when I jacked it up, the gas ran down the frame to the engine. Because all of a sudden I looked up and it was burning.
That's all it took to change their lives. And it's not the first time their plans have gone up in smoke.
I see it got hot.
Meet Carla's older brother, Kyle, a U.S. Marine veteran. She helps her parents care for him after a car crash left him disabled, requiring around-the-clock care.
We've done a lot of work with him, and we've done a lot of changes to the house to help him, and then it's all gone. So we kind of are making it up as we go along.
Their church got the family into this rental home, though it isn't built for Kyle's needs. They're grateful for the help until they can rebuild their home. But that will take money and time. The Linebacks are hoping for a little help to bring them out of the ashes.
I don't want it to be forgotten. And if I have to carry those memories, I will. But it'd be nice if someone can help me remember.
In Apex, Grace Holland, WRAL News.
Such a strong family right there. Now, Carla Lineback says she's had people reach out on social media to donate money. She's actually a Swiftie, and other Taylor Swift fans have pitched in to help. The Lineback family also has a GoFundMe site. You can find out more about that on our website at WRAL.com. Lumberton police are searching for a man they call armed and dangerous in connection with the shooting of a young woman. We're talking about this man here. Investigators have warrants on 19-year-old Eugene Dockery. He's charged with attempted first-degree murder, among other things. The victim, 19-year-old Breonna Davis, is in the hospital. No word on her exact condition at this point. Durham Public School officials plan to introduce the new superintendent to the community tomorrow. The school board voted unanimously to offer Anthony S. Lewis the job. Lewis has spent the last 6 years as superintendent of Lawrence Public Schools in Kansas. Lewis joins DPS after a turbulent school year marked by months of clashes between the district and classified staff over promised pay increases. The turmoil led to abrupt resignations by the district's chief financial officer in January, then the last permanent superintendent as well in February. Now, Lewis, however, says he was impressed by both the school system and its search for a new leader.
I certainly appreciate the board's commitment and focus on children and excellence throughout this process. The involvement of the building level staff, district staff, parents, and most importantly, students involved in this process has made me even more sold on Durham Public Schools.
Also tomorrow, the school board will swear in 2 new members, Joy Harrell and Wendell Tabb. They will each serve a 4-year term. Tomorrow will be the first day on the job for NC Central's new chancellor, Dr. Carrie Dixon. Now, Dixon is a first-generation college graduate of multiple UNC institutions. The outgoing chancellor, Johnson Akinley, has been in the role for 8 years. This was his last day. A group of volunteers is leading the way on a restoration effort at a state park off our coast. How they're living a shoreline project plays a critical role in protecting North Carolina. Plus, the start of a new month comes with some increased costs. How much more you could pay at the DMV to hop on the Go Raleigh bus? Next. Welcome back. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office is removing school resource officers and crossing guards in municipalities with their own police departments starting tomorrow. That's when the contract ends. Sheriff Enos Wright did not outline the reason for the change in service, but insiders say the decision was based on employee shortages. The sheriff says he will continue to provide SROs and crossing guards in unincorporated parts of the county. Starting tomorrow, your trip to the DMV could cost a little more. Several locations in North Carolina are raising their fees this summer. The DMV is required to charge fees at rates every 4 years. Increase those rates, we should say. Now, according to the DMV, about 90 license and registration related fees are expected to go up by about 19%. You can find a list of the price changes that start tomorrow at nc.gov. Also starting tomorrow, you'll once again have to pay for a ride on the Go Raleigh bus service. The bus service has been free for 4 years. Passengers can expect to pay $1.25 for one trip. The discounted fare is 60 cents for people with disabilities or who have Medicare. Kids 12 and under can ride for free. Teens can ride for free with a youth pass, and adults 65 and older can ride for free with a valid ID. The first non-stop flight from RDU to Mexico City takes off tomorrow. Aeromexico service will operate daily out of Terminal 2. The route is operated under an agreement between Aeromexico and Delta Airlines. Exciting stuff there. Well, a group of volunteers is leading the way on a restoration effort at a state park in Carteret County. They're introducing thousands of small plants that experts say serve as a critical role in protecting our state. This work is part of the Living Shoreline project at Fort Macon State Park. These marsh grass plants are the final piece of a restoration puzzle.
We'll continue to monitor these for the next few years and see what kinds of animals move into these plots and whether adding in those marsh grass or those bivalves at the beginning actually leads to more animals living in there as we keep going.
I wonder what type of animals will show up. The Coastal Federation says improvements to the water quality and the animals making their homes around the site should be seen in just a few months. Exciting, exciting. A castle buried beneath North Carolina's largest sand dune is once again fully visible. That's cool. Jockey Ridge in Dare County hid a secret castle beneath its ever-shifting sands. The structure is the remains of a 1970s mini golf course that was swallowed a long time ago. But this summer, there's no question the full castle has been unveiled by the shifting sands. The castle is admittedly a little worse for the wear, but it is still an amazing sight to see. How cool is that? You can read more about it and see more pictures at WRAL.com. I can't wait to go click And look at those pictures. Anthony, that heat is still on, but the rain hopefully will cool things down, and people are getting showers right now.
Yeah, we've been watching a couple of these showers and storms during the past couple hours. It's trying to cool us down just a little bit in some spots. Where we sit right now, though, you can see a lot of the activity is mainly north of the triangle. Some of that will sag a little bit farther to the south here as we go through the next couple of hours. Want to start you off here with radar, of course, with this severe thunderstorm warning. This is really the heaviest and kind of most potent cell that we're watching at this point. A lot of lightning here. If you're in Henderson, even around the area there, you could probably be seeing some of this, especially looking to your south and west. This is currently just in that severe thunderstorm watch. All of that orange, that's a severe thunderstorm watch. Conditions are potentially there for some strong storms. Where we have the warning is basically saying that's where we have a strong storm currently happening. Roxborough, even in your neck of the woods, seeing some lightning showing up, and that's all pushing again to the south and east. That continues until about 6:30, so we'll continue to watch that. It has lost a little bit of its structure and potentially is weakening, but we'll continue to track that. Very, very quiet, though, around the triangle to the south. There's virtually nothing to speak of currently. There's just a little bit of light rainfall there around 440 and then out of our viewing area, but we're going to still see that potential for some showers and storms here over the next couple of hours. Kind of an ominous look there for you, our WRAL tower in southeast Wake County, but you definitely see some sunshine trying to get through, the clouds off in the distance. That's kind of the look we're going for here the next little while, with some off and on storm activity still continuing. Here's Futurecast. So you can see we still struggle to get this shower and storm activity out of here. In fact, we really need the rainfall. This severe potential can kind of go away for us this evening. We get closer to midnight, early tomorrow morning. Still some activities with us. The severe thunderstorm watch would be done by that point. It expires at 11 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow morning, on the whole, looking pretty quiet. We start you off here at 8 o'clock or so and head up to lunchtime. It looks fine. No severe weather expected tomorrow. There could be just an isolated blip or two of a shower tomorrow morning. We are looking overall pretty quiet. There's the watch for us, severe thunderstorm watch, that goes until 11 o'clock. Again, what that's saying is the conditions are there where we could see some stronger storms. Damaging winds up to about 70 miles an hour. That's what the National Weather Service is mentioning here in their discussion. Some very small hail is possible. We've not seen any reports of that. I've seen no storm damage reports, anything like that. If that changes, though, we will let you know. That's kind of our focus number one. We, of course, have the heat as well. Our heat advisory goes until 8 o'clock this evening. With the rain out there, some spots may not get quite to this criteria, but still feels like values 105 to 109 is a potential for us into the rest of this evening. Roxborough's at 79. We have a 90-degree reading around the triangle, 85 in Clinton. This looks a whole lot better compared to some of the readings I was seeing earlier this afternoon, close to the upper 90s for many of us out there. Tomorrow and Tuesday feeling a lot better. Humidity comes down. We see temps in the mid to upper 80s for us, but then it goes right back up. 4th of July, 97, 100 degrees into Friday. So that's going to be still a very short-lived break from that heat and humidity. In the tropics, we're also very active. Hurricane Beryl, just an impressive storm to watch this one. It is a Category 4 hurricane currently. Going to go into the Caribbean, likely weaken a little bit, but still heading toward Cancun, likely as a Category 2 hurricane. Lots of warm temps still on the map here. 87 for us on our Tuesday, 91 Wednesday. Julian, we're at 100 on Friday. A little bit more rain chances, though, as we get into next weekend.
Thanks, Anthony. Casey, it's never too hot to talk about hockey.
Of course not, no, and it's entering a pretty big season. Jake Gensel felt like the perfect fit for the Carolina Hurricanes, but in the end, the team just couldn't do enough to keep him. Plus, we've got less than 24 hours until the NHL free agency frenzy, so I'll tell you what to look out for next.
Now here comes Gensel stepping in. Gensel shoots. He scores! His first in regulation for Carolina. And the Canes.
The Jake Gensel era in Raleigh was fun while it lasted. Less than 24 hours away from NHL free agency frenzy, the Carolina Hurricanes traded his rights to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for a third-round pick in 2025. Now, Gensel was acquired, of course, from Pittsburgh in March at the trade deadline and found immediate chemistry with Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis, recording 25 points in just 17 regular season games. Just a couple days ago, there was some thought a deal could get done, maybe in the ballpark of 8 years, $8 million average, but too little, too late. He'll probably get north of that now by at least another $1 million. Now, things are about to get pretty interesting. A big chunk of the roster pending unrestricted free agents, including Jordan Martinook, Teuvo Teravainen, Brett Pesce, and Brady Shea. But before the free agency frenzy gets underway tomorrow, There was actually a deadline today at 5 p.m. for restricted free agents, and the Canes have extended qualifying offers to Seth Jarvis, Jack Drury, and yes, Marty Natchez. Players will have until July 15th to sign the offer. Now, this doesn't mean they've signed a contract. Simply put, the move like this is made to retain the players' rights. Now, while it was speculated Natchez could get traded before the draft got underway, well, with the way things shook out with Gensel, 99.9 The Fans, Adam Gold says, not so fast.
You couldn't afford to go and trade Natchez just yet because he's a big bat in the middle of your order. My guess is right now they probably won't trade Marty Natchez. And I said this before the draft. I thought it was more likely than not that Natchez is on the roster when we get to training camp, and I still believe that will be the case.
My two cats. This is Poppy. Wait, this is Penny. Those are my two cats. My daughter made the shirt. I promised her we win the Stanley Cup, I'm wearing that shirt.
No one is having more fun right now than former Hurricanes head coach Paul Maurice celebrating a long-awaited Stanley Cup championship. Today, the team held its championship parade in the hot Florida rain, no less, but the downpour didn't dampen the mood. Thousands of fans showed up in Fort Lauderdale to help the team celebrate the franchise's first Stanley Cup. And finally tonight, Tokyo Olympic silver medalist and Clayton High School alum Kenny Harrison will compete in the women's 100-meter hurdle final tonight. You can catch the action on WRAL, of course, looking to go to her second Olympic Games. Pretty impressive, Julian.
Very, very impressive. I am so excited for all the locals just making that push to the Olympics. It'll be fun. Thanks, Casey. And thank you for joining us. Have a great evening. We'll see you later this evening.